Greetings and salutations, friends. It's been a long time since I've been able to do an episode for Deus Ex.
I can't
and
believe
it's
it,
great to be
JC.
back.
What got into Paul?
I guess he got a better offer.
What a blow. I don't know how we'll recover. It's almost like losing a son.
I don't understand it myself, but we've got to go on.
She doesn't really
Is
sound
Natalie
very
available?
genuine in
Go
her
right in,
grief.
JC. He has a lot to
Just saying.
discuss. Incidentally, I haven't been able to reach Jaime. If you cross paths, could you mention that Walton Simons is looking for him? I'm guessing he's in the break room.
I'll let him know.
So we're going to have a little chat with Manderley. We kind of find some things out.
All right, Dent. What the hell
He's
happened?
not happy.
You were under direct orders. My orders.
Sorry about not killing Lebedev. He seemed worth interrogating.
We don't give you enough information to make a call like that.
I guess that means I don't get the op bonus.
You can turn in your weapons right now if you're going to be a smartass.
I
You
risked my
smart
life
ass
and I
not
recovered the
shooting
ambrosia.
people.
I deserve compensation.
We don't have time for trifles. Whatever, take it. But it will be the last one. Clearly monetary incentives don't work with you and Paul.
I try to do the best job I can.
Just shut up and listen for a second. Christ, JC, this kind of behavior, not to mention your brother's defection, is making certain powerful people very nervous. Nervous about you. You understand the importance of loyalty, don't you?
Yes, but
Well, that's what seems to be missing in you and your brother. Brace yourself for an ugly lesson, JC. Coalition has shut down Paul's augmentations and has activated the kill switch.
Isn't Kill Switch a
Activated.
band name?
what?
He's our enemy now. He's gone, JC. The Coalition wants you to understand that he's just another terrorist, like the ones that have died by your very hand this evening.
Can they really kill him? With the press of a button?
Yes, and you too. So take these orders seriously. They're sending you to Hong Kong.
What about Paul? Will I get to see him again?
Please, just get your equipment and meet our pilot Jock at the helipad. You'll need to take out a man called Tracer Tong, Paul's contact in Hong Kong. Prove that they can trust you. JC,
Yes.
it's critical that they trust you.
So, I don't remember much about what I did in this episode. It's almost going to be new to me. I had a lot of stuff going on the past few weeks, and I really wanted to concentrate on just writing guides, really. With a little bit of time I had to play games or anything. So, yeah, this will be quite the adventure.
Behind the eyes, a sharp burning, almost electrical.
How's your bioelectric level?
It's always at 100%. I like to stay prepared.
That's probably it right there. Free radicals. You should charge your systems only when they've been significantly drained.
I wasn't informed of that.
It's a lot like an electric razor. If you leave it plugged in all the time, the battery loses its 0 point. Just watch your levels.
Interesting. Thanks, Doctor.
Let me know how it goes.
I saw you listening in. Yes, it's true. I have augmentations like yours.
Don't you work down in Washington?
Actually, I'm the director of FEMA.
Sounds like you wouldn't have much use for physical augmentations.
You underestimate the demands of my work. We deal with every sort of natural and unnatural disaster you can imagine.
But you're the director. You work behind a desk.
Am I behind a desk right now? No, I'm not. That's because we have a situation here in New York. I got to my position because I can fix things. You will see shortly because, as you have probably noticed yourself, this agency is broken and needs an overhaul.
What do you mean by overhaul?
You will receive a memo in a few days. I am still collecting data.
UNATCO was very effective this evening. We recaptured the shipment.
You don't have to worry, Agent. It's the softer elements I am after.
Like who?
You're beginning to exceed your clearance. What are you? Angel OA?
Excuse my persistence. I'll wait for the memo.
Good. Carry on.
Guess you guys found each other. Get everybody patched up?
I did my best. You're looking good.
Never felt better.
They just dropped off a few liters of the ambrosia you recovered, by the way.
Good work out there, Denton. I want you to know, we will not let your brother's activity cast its shadow on you.
Yes, sir. I'm grateful for that. I just wish we'd found out sooner.
No harm done. We have you to take his place.
Is a few leaders going to be enough?
Well, no one on staff's gonna catch Grey Death this month.
Paul said UNATCO uses the Ambrosia supply to influence national governments. What do you think about that?
So it's true. We went over to the NSF.
He makes some sense. I ignored the mission objective of killing his boss, Juan Lebedev, but Agent Navarre intervened.
What did Mandalay say?
He boxed my ears. No big deal.
I'm surprised he didn't fire you on the spot.
He gave me one more chance. I'm on my way to Hong Kong.
Good. Maybe you'll find out what's got into Paul.
Alright, so maybe they're done talking now. So I thought it was interesting that the director guy, the evil dude, was talking about FEMA and how he's the boss of it. I remember back in, I think it was like 2004 or something like that, there's like this rumor going around about them building these FEMA camps to put Americans in as some kind of like depopulation conspiracy or something like that. I forget the exact details of it. It was a long time ago. But it's funny that this game, which most likely predates that rumor, actually has this as a plot element. And I'm kind of wondering if that's where that rumor came from. It's just a thought. I don't really know. So, yeah.
Your brother's hurt pretty bad. You'll find him at the apartment. If he can walk, get him to come with you. I can pick you guys up in Battery Park.
So that's basically what's going to happen is we're going to go meet Paul, see what's going on with him. I know there's going to be a bit of dialogue at this point. I try not to talk over it. Of course, you guys might recognize Paul. Yeah, you might recognize Paul's apartment here. It hasn't really changed at all. And I think I kind of was looking for some stuff, but there's nothing much. He sounds like he's taking a shit.
What's it going to do to you?
I'm afraid that's
He's gonna
classified.
shit himself to
Manually
death.
said you're going to die.
You've got to have God clearance to know. The nanites can be programmed for exponential
Need
growth.
God
There's
codes.
a chopper that can take us to Hong Kong. You know Jock?
First, you're the only one that can help. I need to send the NSF distress code. UNATCO tracked Lebedev to the other NSF bases and to Silhouette in France.
I came to get you out of here.
JC, you've got to believe me. UNATCO takes payoffs. Silhouette, the other terrorist groups, they're our allies.
You've done what you can for the rebels. Let's go.
You want proof? Pay a visit to the NSF headquarters. Down in the basement, protected by booby traps, a data cube sits on the edge of a table. My report to the militia leaders. Here, I have a photograph of the building. It's a couple blocks to the west, behind the bar.
And I suppose while I'm there, you want me to encrypt a signal with the NSF transmitter, bypass UNATCO SIGINT?
A lot of people could die. My friend Chad, for example, the leader of Silhouette.
I'll check out the facility, but I can't promise I'll help the terrorists. Be ready to leave for Hong Kong when I get back.
Now, of course, I help the terrorists because
You sure you're
why
all right?
not?
No worse than a bad cold. What kills me is just
That they have this kind of power.
the power, yes, but the fact that it's been there from the beginning. A lot of things are starting to make sense. You remember Mom and Dad?
You think they knew?
Lebedev thought so. He said they were employees of the United Nations.
They would never have agreed to anything like a kill switch.
Remember, I knew them longer than you did, and after what Tong showed me, I'm pretty certain we don't have a stitch of DNA in common with either of our supposed parents. They've opened up the street
I
behind the
really
bar.
hope Paul
The NSF
doesn't
base is on
die.
the other side
I
of town.
actually kind of like him as a character. He's a really good counterbalance to JC, who's very robotic and like, secret agent man, which is fine. I actually like that about JC. He's kind of like the stereotypical agent. but they really balance each other out very well. Hopefully he won't, croak on us. So I was just kind of looking at the augmentation. Honestly, I don't give a crap about the augmentations in this game. Like, I feel like they're hardly worth it. I know there's a few I'm going to use, like ballistic resistance and maybe a few others, but aside from that, meh. That's an aspect of this game they probably could have worked on a little bit. Of course, that's just my opinion. And I'm just gonna go look for this data cube. Of course, I didn't realize that I just had the nano key to his door and could unlock it. I don't know what I was thinking there. But yeah, I think I had a kind of tough time finding it. It is back at that base he was talking about.
Bloodshot.
And I ended up revisiting this dude, the smuggler. I don't really remember what I used to call him. I think I called him the butt smuggler. Hopefully we see him again. I kind of think he's a fun character too. Like, I've had a lot of time to ruminate on this game, and I like the cast. Like, if the voice acting were a little bit better, it would have really set the cast off very nicely. Unfortunately, it's that this is actually early 2000s voice acting that's kind of not very good in many cases, which is something I like, actually. Like, it's something I kind of miss. Mainly because it's so funny, really. We get skill points again, even though we've been here before.
Over the next few hours. Now, what do you want?
Anything for sale?
Hey, about your brother. If he's in Hell's Kitchen, he's a sitting duck.
So you heard that he went over to the NSF?
Yanatko's got this place nailed down. One thing they can't stand, an agent gone AWOL.
Maybe I should prepare for the worst. What do you have for me?
I have an extended clip that'll fit most handguns and rifles for 1,500 credits, a range weapon mod for 2,400, and a napalm canister that fits most flamethrowers for 2,250.
I find it hilarious that this dude's like, Yanatko's got this place nailed down.
Not interested.
But they're not checking his apartment. The most obvious place you would check if you're looking for someone would be their house. Especially if they're, like, about to die.
Talk of a raid on the town.
I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, so he restocked his house with the goodies. There's some weapon mods and stuff in here. So of course we're going to steal them. Those reflections always kind of bug me out. I always kind of like forget that there's a lot of mirrors in this game and you can just see JC running up to them. It's not something you really see often in games. I don't know why. Maybe it's difficult to pull off. I mean, I think, or maybe it's just because it maybe bothers people, I don't know. But I think they were kind of showing off the technology a little bit in this game. Of course, I upgraded my shotgun. I decided to keep the street sweeper, or whatever the hell it's called, sawed off. I don't actually think sawed offs are called street sweepers, but well, that's me discovering that I can change ammo. But yeah, I decided to go with that. I mean, the combat shotgun's probably better, but, you know, why not be a little different? I may live to regret that when we get to later stages in the game, but I rely pretty heavily on the sniper rifle anyway, so I'm not too worried. Of course, I really wasn't sure where to go. It took me a while to find that tunnel because I remembered it being closed off. Of course, I kill some boxes with my trusty combat knife. And find some ammo that I can't use. The lighting system in this game, I know I talk about it a lot, but it's so bizarre. Like, even the night vision or whatever it's called, like, it's like a flashlight. It's really bizarre. I mean, you know, it's an older game. A lot of this stuff is very new. I was actually shocked. I didn't play it in a Let's Play, but I did cover a game called Heretic, which is like a 1994 game
off to Hong Kong.
that had light sources.
What's going on here?
Really novel for the
The
time.
NSF got their hands on some pretty sensitive material.
Probably had something to do with my two-faced brother.
Nothing we can't clean up.
Mind if I take a look around?
Go right ahead.
Now this scenario is really cool.
You'll need to send the signal from the satellite dish on the top
Yeah.
If you're unable to hack the computers up there, you'll need the instructions and account information Lebedev sent me. One of our agents who tried to send the signal but got run off left the data cube in a secret area below the garage. Look for a hatch under some boxes. A computer on the 3rd floor can unlock the hatch.
Okay, so yeah, this is a cool scenario because, you know, at this point, like, JC's really kind of starting to betray UNATCO. And you're just strolling around with all these troops in here, talking to them like, yeah, I'm not here to fuck you over or anything. And you get a hazmat suit. They don't even bother picking those things up. I think I have an AUG for that. I was going to call it a mod. Might as well, I guess. So, I don't know. I don't really feel that I should be using inventory space for it, but I pick it up anyway. I guess I changed my mind. So, I think once again I might have been like a little bit unsure where to go, because he said we had to get to the basement. I think you have to go through some hoops to get there. I don't really remember very well. I mean, obviously I figured it out, but it did take a little time.
What's it for?
That's a dumb question.
No, really. What does UNATCO need with that kind of money?
Just look around. Think UNATCO'd be handing out assault guns if funding was left of the UN?
Well,
The uniforms. If it wasn't for Simons, we'd still be wearing those little white helmets.
yeah.
He's what they call a philanthropist.
Axe this file?
Yeah, all of it. The whole directory.
What I want to know is what he gets in return.
Don't you know what a philanthropist is?
Yeah, like Nietzsche.
No, a philanthropist. Giving to charity.
Oh,
And that's why he volunteered for FEMA, to help out after hurricanes and that kind of thing.
that's a lot of money to just give away.
Some people are just good, you know? Good to the bone.
The irony of that, of that entire conversation. He's gonna put everyone in FEMA camps. He's just a good guy. Actually, it's worse. They're spreading a plague around to kill everyone. So, yeah, there's some gas in there. I guess I'm not gonna make any fart jokes, but there is an area where there's some gas. I think it's that room, and just have to figure out how to shut it off, which is with that little switch right there. If I can figure out how to go through the door, damn. I don't know, I must have been drinking a little bit when I recorded this video. It's just a guess, though. I'm actually really in the mood to play this game, and I think I'm going to do another episode after I finish this up, so... And I figured I'd save you guys the pain of sitting there and, like, having watched me try to remember the passcode for the computer terminal, so I just kind of edited that out. I feel like no matter how many cameras you turn off in this game, there's always like another fucking camera that's gonna spot you. And that's actually to the game's credit, really, because, you know, otherwise it would take a lot of the stealth elements out of it. You know, which is something I didn't realize the game was at first, but it would take some of that challenge out of it if you could just go around turning cameras off willy-nilly and just
Turns out your brother was
strolling
stealing
by
balance sheets
everything.
from UNATCO's accounting department.
That is something I would like to do. I don't think I have the time to actually do this. Maybe if I replay this game sometime in the future, I would. Just kind of make like a ridiculous, like, heavy weapons character. Just like burn my way through everything using a gut gun. I'm not even sure if it's possible. It's probably not advisable. But it would be funny. I did experiment with that a little bit. I tested a lot of the weapons and stuff out for a kind of brief character generation guide I'm working on. So, yeah. I think we gotta put a few more passwords in. If I can spell things and remember them. It's always a challenge for me. And, oh, well, yeah, I fiddle with more cameras. So I find the NSF really interesting. Mainly because, like, they're talking about the new revolution and all that stuff, and Thomas Jefferson. It's, I think, what are they called? The Northern Secessionist Forces or something? We gotta be careful here because dynamite. I actually messed up. I remember this too. I messed up when I was putting that crate down and it exploded me, so yeah, be very careful with the dynamite. Explosives are no joke in this game. So there's like a lot of like little traps and stuff here, bits of loot. I have to say this is maybe one of the less eventful portions of the game. Of course, it's coming right off of the whole Lebedev thing, so it makes sense, and something big is probably going to happen right after that. I don't know why I did this, to be completely honest. Like, it was a little reckless of me. Especially with dynamite not all that far away. But I think the idea was that, like, I just didn't feel like fucking with these things. And it was just like, I'm just gonna throw a hand grenade at them. And it worked. I don't even know what's in there, really. It could just be some turrets or something. And that green stuff's supposed to be chlorine gas, if I remember correctly. Chlorine gas can and will melt your lungs, so... And it is actually green. Just a fun fact. And there's more hallways without much in them. I don't know why I backtracked here. What was I thinking? I think there's something in that door. And I was like unsure of it. And I'm like, you know what? I'll open it. No, I won't. Yes, I will. Hopefully it's worth the 2 lockpicks. we'll find out. I think there's like some, like a lull or something in here, or rockets, which are for the GEP gun, so it won't help me out very much. Hazmat suit. Wow. I'm gonna get like, oh well, EMP grenades, certainly well worth it. I like to throw those at robots, so. Once I get the sniper rifle, or the rifle skill, maxed out, I think I can actually damage robots. That was something I was fiddling around with in a previous episode. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I don't think I have enough skill in it yet. But we only need one more skill upgrade. And I've been really pushing to get those weapons upgrades through. Mainly because the way I see it, like I want to try to conserve ammo and med packs.
You've got what you need to use the transmitter on the roof. Look around in that room. You should find records of the bribes Manderley has been taking. Then get to the roof, JC. I need you to send that distress signal.
Oh, I'm sending this message from the plane. UNATCO has been even more ruthless than we feared. In reports I'm receiving now, the people are being slaughtered in the tunnels. It's probably only a matter of time before I'm captured and executed, and I don't doubt that they'll kill everyone they can back at headquarters. If you... Oh, well. Apparently I didn't give myself enough time to read this, but, you know, that was kind of a little warning to Paul. I just had to backtrack out of there. But, yeah, as I was saying, I almost feel like maybe it was a little unnecessary to kind of try to save so much stuff, at least at this point. I don't know if it's going to help me, but, you know, we'll find out. And I don't even think UNATCO guy had anything. He did shoot me a little bit, though. Of course, we have lambs aplenty. And, yeah, once again, I'm a little bit confused. I'm like, oh, do I do this computer terminal? And I think the passwords are different. Yeah, so we have Napoleon is the username. Revolution. Napoleon Revolution? No. You know, Napoleon was really kind of like an unsavory character historically. I know he had like a lot of like rhetoric that people seem to like, but it's kind of funny that they chose him for a username. And so yeah, I was kind of stuck on this for a little bit. I don't think I remembered what the password was. Okay, so no, that wasn't it. Or was it? Maybe I was just having trouble spelling. I think I was trying to remember it. And that's, that was going very, very badly. So we just have to like move some stuff around, I think. And then we'll be done with this part of the mission. In fact, there really wasn't anything in that room. This was the important thing that I had to do. Revulsion. Oh my god, I can't even spell anymore. Yes, that's how you spell revolution. I use my frickin' tablet to write a lot. So my typing skills have just totally gone down the drain. That's why you see me like slowly typing it out. Revolution. It's the Revolution, guys. Access denied. You can't spell, motherfucker. Let's see if I got it. Did I get it? No. I think it might be a different password. So yeah, I guess it was that. So we broadcast the message. I don't know what the message is, but we're doing it.
You even reached Silhouette in France. Come back to the apartment and let's clear out of New York.
So yeah, we got some skill points. This is it for this episode. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back with some more Deus Ex. Hopefully with a slightly more interesting episode. I think the action is going to pick up. This was kind of fun to play, this part. But I don't feel like it was like very good to watch. But, you know, maybe I'm wrong. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back with more as always. And until next time, good luck and happy gaming.